Two things I want you to see in this video you're about to watch. Please watch this video I'm about to clip. First, I want you to see a secretly gay, I'm not going to call him a pastor. He's not a pastor. He's an arbiter of hate, and he's been promoted. And I have said from the very beginning of Maga, first term, that they were ushering in Sharia law. And you all know it's true. You know it's true. We know it. We see it. We hear it. We feel it. And that's why it makes me even more upset that Scott Galloway, then someone who is supposed to be an academic, mansplains all over what, again, we see, we feel, we hear. So please watch this clip. And I'm telling you guys, this is a red alert. Like she says, I don't play the whole clip, but go subscribe and check this out.
The MAGA movement wants to be the American Taliban. Put up this headline, Kylie. Polite and friendly in his OKC job. And other gig as church leader, he says gay people should be lined up and executed. This is in my city of Oklahoma City. A church leader who advocates executing people who are LGBTQ plus was promoted by the Oklahoma City Parks Department's Information and Technology Division. So here's a guy who, if you saw out at, 7-Eleven or something, he looks like he has this city job, but his side hustle is running a hate church where he says he wants to execute homosexuals. And on our other podcast, I recently had on Professor Scott Galloway, and he was talking about Hamas and how Hamas wants to execute gay people, wants to kill women. And I said, I think the MAGA movement is the same. And he thought I was being hyperbolic and that it was a false equivalency. And I want to play you guys this clip. Argue that the MAGA movement is very similar to what Hamas wants to do. We are losing rights. They are trying to make this a Christian nationalist state in Oklahoma. It is the breeding grounds for what would be the American Taliban.
I do think it's a bit of a stretch and a false equivalence to compare the MAGA movement in any way to Hamas, who throws gay people off of roofs, believes in child marriage, says women can be executed if they don't comply. I mean, that's a different level. I don't think it's fair to compare MAGA.
Have you ever lived in an evangelical culture?
Do you really think you can equate that in any way to the way Hamas acquits themselves?
They believe one of the greatest sins is marriage that isn't between a man and a woman. Okay, so that is my conversation with Professor Scott Galloway. And he's lived in LA, lived in New York, now lives in London. And I think what a lot of people are not getting about what's going on inside this MAGA movement, it has a very cruel cult in the middle of it, which is this evangelical Christian movement. And one of their singular things that they preach against is homosexuality and gay marriage. But let's listen to this Oklahoma City employee. Let's listen to him. And I want you to remember what Scott Galloway said and how clueless the people in the Beltway and in academic circles are about what is happening in middle America with this death cult, this American evangelical death cult. Kylie, play the clip.
God says the answer is the solution for the homosexual in 2022, here in the New Testament, here in the book of Romans, that they are worthy of death. These people should be put to death. Every single homosexual in our country should be charged with the crime, the abomination of homosexuality that they have. They should be convicted in a lawful trial. They should be sentenced with death. They should be lined up against the wall and shot in the back of the head. That's what God teaches.
Okay, did you hear the people in the background, how he fired them up? And they're like, that's right. That is like the white nationalist, proud boy, this evangelical, that white rage is a through line through the MAGA movement. And it's something that people are not acknowledging because so many politicians